Now has Starks for Ewing. Ewing with the spin. Ewing, yes! 1/8 seconds remaining. The Knicks lead by 1. Indiana calls for time.
Patrick Ewing. If there is a one-word description often applied to Patrick Ewing, it would be warrior. Patrick Aloysius Ewing is a Jamaican-American NBA player who is now the head coach of the Georgetown University men's basketball team. He played most of his career as the starting center of the NBA's New York Knicks and also played briefly with the Seattle SuperSonics and Orlando Magic. He was relentless in pursuit of an NBA championship despite being denied on an annual basis. The legend had a long NBA career, predominantly playing for the New York Knicks, where he was an 11-time All-Star and named to 7 All-NBA teams. The Knicks appeared in the NBA Finals twice during his tenure. He won Olympic gold medals as a member of the 1984 and 1992 United States men's Olympic basketball teams. In a 1996 poll celebrating the 50th anniversary of the NBA, Ewing was selected as one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history. Tracing back to the legend's 17 years on the court, let's take a look at how good Patrick Ewing truthfully was. As a senior in high school, young Ewing signed a letter of intent to play for Coach John Thompson at Georgetown University, and during his freshman year in 1981-82, Ewing became one of the first college players to start and star on the varsity team. That year, he led the Hoyas to their second Big East tournament title in school history and a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. In the tournament, the Hoyas advanced to their first Final Four since 1943, where they defeated the University of Louisville to set up a showdown in the NCAA Final against North Carolina. In one of the most star-studded championship games in NCAA history, Ewing was called for goaltending 5 times in the first half, setting the tone for the Hoyas and making his presence felt. The Hoyas led late in the game, but a shot by future NBA superstar Michael Jordan gave North Carolina the lead. During the 1984-85 season, which was Ewing's senior year, Georgetown was ranked #1 in the nation for the majority of the campaign. The senior athlete was again named the Big East Star Player of the Year, and the team won the Big East tournament title yet again. They entered the NCAA tournament as the #1 overall seed of the East region, where they wound up advancing to another Final Four, their third in 4 years. The soon-to-be a superstar's 4-year college career is cited as one of the most successful college runs of all time. Among his many accomplishments, he helped Georgetown reach the final game of the NCAA tournament 3 out of the 4 years, win 3 Big East tournament titles, 4 Big East Defensive Player of the Year awards, and was named a first-team All-American 3 times. He arrived in New York after a ballyhooed college career with the Georgetown Hoyas. The team's fierce, in-your-face style of basketball created a phenomenon known as Hoya paranoia, and as the key intimidating defensive presence, Ewing was tagged the Hoya Destroya. A media star since his schoolboy days, his anticipated arrival to the NBA was unprecedented. Ewing was expected to be the top pick in the 1985 NBA draft. New York had been a playoff team 3 of the preceding 5 years, led by 7'1" center Bill Cartwright and the electrifying Bernard King, although Cartwright missed the entire season and King suffered a serious knee injury the year prior to Ewing's arrival. With Cartwright and King sidelined, the team's progress was short-circuited as the record dropped dramatically, putting the team in a position to draft Ewing. Although injuries marred his first year in the league, he was voted NBA Rookie of the Year and named to the NBA All-Rookie First Team after averaging 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game. Soon after, he was considered one of the premier centers in the league. The rookie wasn't known for his offensive prowess while in college, but once in the pro ranks, away from the restraints of college opponents sagging on him, Ewing surprised many with his scoring ability, eventually developing an unstoppable baseline jumper. In his 3rd year, Ewing finished 20th in the NBA in scoring 20.2 points per game. Rick Pitino took over as head coach prior to the season and guided the Knicks to their first playoff berth in 4 seasons, where the Boston Celtics defeated New York 3-1 in the first round. He contributed 18.8 points and 12.8 rebounds per game in the series, and also made his second All-Star Game appearance in 1988, and was named to both the All-Defensive Second Team and the All-NBA Second Team at season's end. In 1988-89, with Cartwright having been traded to the Bulls for Ewing's eventual right-hand man for the next decade, power forward Charles Oakley, number 33 became an All-Star for the third time, and he earned his second straight berth on both the All-NBA Second Team and the All-Defensive Second Team. The Knicks won the Atlantic Division with a 52-30 record in Rick Pitino's second and final season as head coach. Prior to the 1991-92 season, Pat Riley took over as head coach of New York. For the next 4 seasons, Ewing anchored one of the best teams in the league as the Knicks won at least 50 games each year and advanced to the NBA Finals in 1994. He was remarkably consistent during that span, averaging between 23.9 and 24.5 points while pulling down at least 11 rebounds per game each year. In the 1992 Eastern Conference Semifinals, the Knicks played the defending NBA champion Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan. Ewing was unstoppable in Game 1, finishing with 34 points, 16 rebounds, and 6 blocks, and the Knicks beat Chicago with 94-89. The Knicks were facing elimination in Game 6 when Ewing had one of the greatest games of his career. The team trailed 3-2 in the series, and Ewing was limited physically by a bad ankle sprain, but he helped the Knicks beat the Bulls with 100-86 by scoring 27 points. NBC announcer Marv Albert called it a Willis Reed type performance, but the Knicks were ultimately eliminated in Game 7. In an April 14, 1993 game between the Knicks and the Charlotte Hornets, Ewing suffered a moment of embarrassment when Muggsy Bogues, a 5' 3" tall point guard for the Hornets, managed to block his shot. The team looked like it was going to advance to the NBA Finals when they took a 2-0 lead over Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. Both teams battled well, each winning on its home court in the first 4 games. However, the Bulls stunned the Ewing-led Knicks, winning Game 5 in New York. In 1992-93, the All-Star player finished 4th in the balloting for the NBA Most Valuable Player award after leading the Knicks to the best record in the Eastern Conference at 60-22. An All-Star for the 7th time, Ewing finished 6th in the NBA in scoring 24.2 points per game and 7th in rebounding with a career-high 12.1 per game. Ewing averaged 25.5 points and 10.9 rebounds in the 1993 postseason, but for the 3rd straight year the Knicks could not unseat the Bulls. The Knicks lost the Eastern Conference Finals to Chicago in 6 games after going up 2-0. Momentum swayed to the Bulls after winning Game 5 at Madison Square Garden when point-blank range shots by Knicks forward Charles Smith were blocked with seconds left. With Jordan out of the league, 1993-94 season was considered a wide-open year in the NBA, and Ewing had declared that 1994 would be the Knicks' year. He was a main contributor to the Knicks' run to the 1994 NBA Finals, in which the Knicks, who reached the Finals for the first time since 1973, lost in the final seconds of Games 6 and 7 to the Houston Rockets. The Knicks, with Ewing leading them, had to survive a grueling trek through the playoffs simply to reach the finals. They defeated the Bulls and Scottie Pippen in 7 games in the 1994 Eastern Conference Semifinals, and defeated the Indiana Pacers in the conference finals, which also took them 7 games to decide. In the finals, the Knicks stole Game 2 in Houston, but could not hold court at home, dropping Game 3 at the Garden. The Knicks then won the next 2 games to return to Houston ahead 3-2. However, the Rockets won the next 2 games. Ewing made the most of his playoff run by setting a record for most blocked shots in a finals series. He also set an NBA Finals record that year for most blocked shots in a single game with 8. Ewing missed much of the 1997-98 season with a lunate dislocation and torn ligaments of the right wrist. But the following season in 1998-99, despite being injured, Ewing and the Knicks qualified for the finals after defeating the Pacers in the conference finals in 6 games. However, the Knicks could not complete their Cinderella run as they lost in the finals to the San Antonio Spurs. During his final season with the Knicks in 1999 to 2000, the team finished as the 3rd seed in the East behind the Pacers and the Heat. The team advanced to the conference finals again, sweeping the Toronto Raptors and beating the Heat for the 3rd straight year in 7 games, but they were defeated by the Pacers in the conference finals. Unable to agree on a contract extension with Ewing before the 2000 to 2001 season, he left the Knicks as part of a trade to the Seattle SuperSonics. He played just 1 season as a Sonic and another with the Orlando Magic. He then announced his retirement on September 18, 2002. In 1,183 games over 16 seasons, Ewing averaged 21.0 points, 9.8 rebounds, and 2.4 blocks per game, and averaged better than a 50% shooting percentage. Post-retirement, he was hired as an assistant coach by the Washington Wizards, joining Jordan in his old nemesis' final season as a player. He helped tutor several young big men in the league, with his most notable pupils being Yao Ming and Dwight Howard. He was hired to coach his alma mater, Georgetown, in April of 2017. Just recently, Patrick Ewing was released from the hospital and is recovering from home after he tested positive of coronavirus. Make sure to keep posted with our videos to keep yourselves updated with your favorite stars' whereabouts. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more.